The girl who hated rain until her rain buddy came along. I was that girl. I still am, I guess. I'm Lynn, and I have always hated rain. Not the sound of rain or the smell of rain or even the way rain makes people look all dewy and fresh-faced. It's the mess that is rain. What it does to my bangs and my socks. How it ruins the carefully curated outfits I put together. And worst of all, rain has the audacity to fall when I least expect it, like right before an important job interview, for example. On the day in question, I had spent hours agonizing over my outfit, ultimately choosing a white shirt, black pants, and my trusty red flats. I left my umbrella at home because it was supposed to be a beautiful, sunny day, just the way I like it. But Mother Nature had other plans. By the time I got to work, my white shirt was soaked through. I pulled out my phone and sure enough, there was a downpour outside. It was one of those torrential summer rains that drenches you in seconds. I debated staying inside, but this was my dream job and I couldn't afford to bail last minute. Taking a deep breath, I grabbed my jacket and dashed out the door. As soon as I stepped outside, my hair got wet. Moments later, my skirt got wet. Then my socks. My shoes squelched with each step I took. I hunched over, wishing I hadn't left my umbrella behind. When suddenly something smacked me right in the face. Startled, I raised my head up just in time to see my bright pink umbrella sailing away, higher and higher until it disappeared into the sea of gray above me. I sighed and started to turn back when a pair of strong arms stopped me. "Here you go," a guy said, handing me an umbrella. Startled, I looked up at him. His face was hidden behind the wide brim of his hat, but I could see the twinkle in his dark eyes and the smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. When he tilted his head back, I saw that his hair was wet, plastered to his forehead by the rain. Water dripped from his eyelashes. And instead of looking miserable, he was smiling. "Thanks," I managed, taking the umbrella from him. I opened it just as another gust of wind threatened to snatch it from my grasp. He laughed and stepped closer. "Here," he said, offering me half of his umbrella. "You can take the dry side." He gestured to the dull gray canvas that covered us both. Are you sure?" I asked, surprised by his easy grin and infectious laugh. "Absolutely," he said. "Though if you don't want to share an umbrella with a complete stranger, we could call this one even and part ways." "No, I definitely want to share an umbrella with you," I said, laughing. "It's just that I'm a bit particular about my personal space." "No worries," he said. "I'm particular about it too. Unless, of course, we're sharing an umbrella, then all bets are off." He gave me a sheepish grin and I couldn't help but smile back. Maybe being drenched in the rain wasn't so bad after all. And that's how our spontaneous walk began. We talked about everything and nothing, the city, our jobs, our dreams, our fears, even the rain. "So why do you hate it so much?" he asked, tilting his head up to catch a few drops on his tongue. "You know, the rain." "Oh, this?" I said, gesturing vaguely. "It's a long story." "Well, here," he said, pressing the handle of his umbrella into my hand. "We got 3 minutes till we reach your office. Tell me everything." I hesitated, unsure how much I wanted to share with a virtual stranger. But there was something about his warm brown eyes and disarming smile that made me feel safe. So I told him about how rain made me feel trapped, how it amplified my anxiety, how I felt like I couldn't control anything. He listened patiently, occasionally squeezing my hand reassuringly. By the time we reached my office, I felt like I'd known him forever. "I should go now," I said, a little breathless. "Yeah," he said, disappointment evident in his voice. "Me too." "Wait," I called out, realizing I didn't even know his name. "What's your name?" "Call me Noah," he said. "And yours?" "Lynn." He smiled, a dimple appearing on his left cheek. Nice to meet you, Lynn. And thank you for sharing your umbrella. It was my pleasure, I lied. I wanted to tell him how much I enjoyed our walk, how I actually didn't mind the rain, not one bit. But I was scared. Scared of ruining this perfect moment, scared of jinxing it. So I simply smiled and said goodbye. That was the first time we met. And from then on, he kept showing up every day at the same street corner, always with a spare umbrella and a cup of cinnamon-laced coffee for me. There were no grand gestures, no rose petals, no violins. Just him and his silly rain rituals that somehow made me feel more at ease than I'd ever felt before. One time I arrived early and he was already waiting for me. Here, I brought you some backup just in case, he said, holding out an umbrella with a shy smile. Thank you, Noah. I knew he was hoping for more, but I was afraid to give him false hope. So I stuck to our routine, exchanging small smiles and comfortable silences, enjoying the simplicity of it all. I liked him a lot actually, but I was cautious. I didn't want to mess this up. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, things changed. Our conversations became less stilted, our silences less awkward. He would tuck a strand of hair behind my ear, his fingers lingering just a little too long. Sometimes he'd walk me home, our shoulders brushing against each other, sending sparks down my spine. In his presence, I forgot that I hated rain. With him by my side, the downpour became our dance, the raindrops our applause. Then just as suddenly as he'd entered my life, he was gone. The following week, the rain stopped and so did he. No texts, no calls, no show at our usual corner. I missed him terribly. The rain came and went, but he didn't. A part of me hoped that he'd come back, but I tried to convince myself otherwise. What if he was just being nice? What if he didn't really like me? Maybe our connection had only been in my head. I was lost in thought when I heard a knock on the door. Startled, I turned around. It was Noah. Noah, I breathed, surprised to see him standing there with a sheepish grin on his face. He held out an envelope, his fingers brushing mine. I have something for you, he said. Inside the envelope, there was a single sheet of paper. It had 5 handwritten words. Rain this Sunday. Don't flake. Below it, another message. P.S. It read, the first word is on the receipt. Confused, I unfolded the receipt and my eyes fell on the poem. Don't stop believing in magic. You can find it in every raindrop. When you open your heart, it will flow through you like water through a spout. Don't stop believing in love. It's in the air you breathe, the sunlight you see. All around you, just wait and see. Don't stop believing in me. I looked up just in time to see a blush creep up his neck. Did you write this? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He nodded, his eyes shining with emotion. For you, Lynn. My throat tightened. He had been here all this time. He'd been trying to tell me something. And all I'd done was run away. After that, there were no more doubts, no more fears, only honesty. And under his gentle guidance, I learned to dance in the rain. From then on, Lynn never hated the rain again, not because it changed, but because someone taught her how to dance in it. The end.